in 1764 to 1,944,000 in 1765. In England, American statesman Benjamin Franklin argued the case of the American colonies to Parliament and warned that continued abuse of the colonists could and would result in rebellion. Fortunately for the colonies, the Parliament experienced a shift in government which had sympathy for Whig politics, which resulted in the repeal of the Stamp Act. The Parliament passed the Declaratory Act in 1766, reversing the Stamp Act, but at the same time insisting that the Parliament as a legislative body had the right and power to make laws for the colonies in all cases whatsoever. Both sides viewed the result as a political victory, believing that their interpretation of the rights of the colonists had been heard and secured. The Parliament believed it had exerted its will as the governing body of the colonies, and once and for all had established their right to levy laws on them. And the Americans believed that the British Parliament would not ever directly tax them again. Without some form of representation, a door had been left open, and if the British government was not careful, it might be able to close again. In 1767, things were still not going well economically for the British. The Rockingham government, which had helped repeal the Stamp Act, was suffering at the hands of their Tory opponents, who criticized them harshly and felt that they had been played by the American colonists. Charles Townshend, who served as the Chancellor of the Exchequer to the ministry of William Pitt the Elder, found himself in control of the administration when Pitt suddenly passed away in 1766. Townshend himself died a year later, but before he did, urged by the financial crisis and the insistence of the Tory factions within Parliament, passed a series of 5 acts which would collectively bear his name, the Townshend Acts. The first act, known as the Revenue Act, imposed direct